Good morning. Saturday the 23rd of May, which means it is race day. So I'm just getting organised now. I have just made some toast. There's no toaster in this Airbnb, so I just had to make it in the oven quickly. So I am drinking my electrolytes. I'm almost finished them, and normally I would have my coffee second, but normally when I have a coffee, like, I'm full after a coffee and I don't feel hungry enough to like eat my breakfast. So I'm swapping things about a wee bit just because we take off at 1 o'clock today, and I want to make sure that I've got plenty of carbs in me before we take off. So what we're going to do is, I've had my electrolytes, I'm going to have make this toast and jam, I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to have my coffee, because then once I've had that, at least I've got some food in me, and then I've still got like a bagel with like banana, honey to have as well, so I'll have that a wee bit later before we leave, because yeah, we take off at 1 o'clock, so I don't really think having like a big kind of second meal would be wise. I'll not have my second coffee either, because normally I would have that about kind of 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I just think that's too close to race time. So we'll maybe have a coffee afterwards. We'll see what time it is and how we feel. We might need one, or lots and lots of electrolytes. Weather's looking wild today. Showing like highs of kind of 27. We're right in the middle of the day, so it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because we don't train in the heat, but it's all part of the lesson, isn't it? Like, if we're wanting to do Hyrox and we're wanting to race and get good at it, and we want to go to abroad countries to also do races, then it might be something that we need to think about going forward, is a bit of kind of maybe heat training and getting used to training in the heat rather than it always being in the UK where we know the weather's not always the best. So again, it's just probably going to be a wee bit of a lesson for us today on how we actually feel when we go for it. But excited, I'm going to just get some food in me. Once I get some coffee, I'll probably be a wee bit more alive after some caffeine, and then we'll get ready. Lots of stretching. We'll take you along with us, but I'll probably not be able to vlog anything from the race, just because it's just me and Stephen. We have a photographer coming to take some kind of photos and stuff like that, but obviously he's got his own camera. Not going to have the Osmo, so I'll try and get as much as I can, but probably not be much from the race, or if I do get some for the race, it'll maybe be in kind of different format, but I'll still stick it up into the video anyway so that you can see. But yeah, let's go and eat our toast. I'd rather just go on the train and actually go
somewhere else.
I don't know,
It's a bit of a dive, it's a scheme, innit?
It's obviously the S band over there, which is, I think we keep going on the underground, and the S must be.
You're on the train?
Yeah.
Nearly there, a couple of stops.
One more after this.
One more after this one?
Yeah.
I like very much.
That's us just scanning a bagel, banana, there's intra in that. Just sitting at the wee chill out bit.
Kate Davey, she is fighting, but she is now struggling to hold off Joanna Vitrick. She is trying to move in. Kate Davey absolutely leaving it all out there. She needs a little bit off again going out onto that.
is absolutely scorching out here. 28 degree heat, 28 degrees. It is 20 past 4. We are finished our Hyrox, and the heat got the better of us today. No PB. Actually our slowest time since our first one for Hyrox Glasgow. But aye, we'll do a full race debrief on that, but honestly I think the heat, like, we're just not used to it. We're not used to training in this type of heat, never mind running outside, any of it. So aye, I think Hyrox beat us today in the heat, but we've just had something to eat. We are probably going to head home and get a shower, go out for something to eat and that. Now that Hyrox is done, we are going to become tourists, but it's honestly been incredible. Like, what an amazing venue this is. Do you know what I mean? We're so privileged that we get to do this in the first place and travel somewhere abroad, this iconic location, and do Hyrox. But for the next couple of days it's probably more going to be just us being tourists in Berlin, because we're not actually home till Monday night, which is good. But it's been an amazing birthday trip and that. Once we settle down for the adrenaline and stuff, I'll do like a full race week. But honest to God, like, I was pouring water over myself the whole way, like every water station. There's one actually out on the track. I was pouring water on myself. I was pouring it on myself when we were in the rock zone. They are coming round squishing you with water. They've also got like the big kind of, I don't know what it is, it's like a spray that sprays back and forward with the water spraying you, because the heat is just something else. Like, some people are going around that track right now and I'm like, do you know what, good on yous. But aye, it's been a tough one, but I'll take another wee couple of vlogs so you can kind of see what's happening out here, fill you in on my foot as well, and take you on the rest of us being tourists. But Hyrox Mixed Doubles Berlin is complete. Fair do to everyone that's out there right now. Look at that sun, absolutely fucking splitting the sky, and everyone's over on the track like running round. I'll show you it now. I actually don't think I've kind of came out and showed you this part. That's like Tempelhof Field over there that people are just kind of, there's loads of people out there chilling. But right now, basically, if I come over, look, you come out the run track at the top there, the start tunnel, and you meet this track, and there is like no shade, there is nowhere to hide. Right, they've put a water station up at the top there as well now. But yeah, this is where you're doing your laps after coming out after a station, is out here. You can see everyone just running around right now. And this is it. And you're obviously going round to that white arch over there. Try and see if I can zoom in a bit. The white arch over there is where you're running in. And the hangar's absolutely massive. Our rock zone time's shocking, over 13 minutes. And then this is obviously, of course, the building that you're going in. It's huge. Like, it is absolutely fucking massive, this place. Like, just seeing the widespreadness and span of how much it goes round. It's crazy. And yeah, I think it's meant to be hot pretty much right through. I think it cools down a little bit after today, but I mean, only to like, so like, I think it cools down only about like 25. So if you, I mean, if you train in the heat, fair dues, but we don't. Do you know what I mean? We just don't train in the heat at all. So that is something that we're going to need to take into account. Maybe it means more holidays. Need to go abroad more. You train in the heat, because anyone that lives in Scotland knows that we don't get much heat. There he is. She doesn't know what she's missing.
That's 7 minutes slower than what we wanted Glasgow, and I know for a fact that we didn't meet off pretty fucking fast on the first lap. The other thing I'm watching, I said, oh, this is so good, but nearly a fucking 30 before we got to the end. I think it worked out a 3:30 pace. So, I mean, the runs went alright up to a certain point, and then that was fucked. Don't get me wrong, like, we stopped at every single water station. There was
Okay, so we're going to do a little race recap for Hyrox Berlin on how we both kind of thought it went, the lessons learned, and what we're taking into next season with us. So I think we both very much underestimated the heat. That was probably the biggest factor in all of it, was the heat. We're not heat acclimatised at all. We don't do any form of kind of heat training. We live in Scotland, so it's not very often that we get any kind of hot weather. So us going round that course at 1 p.m. in 28 degree heat, Hyrox said, like, keep to the shade, but there was no fucking shade. Like, it was outside on the track. Even when you went into the hangars, like, it was still just absolutely roasting, to the point that, like, water in Glasgow, we didn't obviously stop at as many water stations. There was water out on the track, there was water, loads of water stations as you were going into the rock zone. Every single time you were stopping to grab a sip and actually just pour the water on you just to cool yourself down. Like, it was absolutely mental. So I think the heat's probably been the biggest factor for us going into it. I think for me, Sleds is still one of my weaknesses, especially with those pro weights, particularly sled push. I found it extremely tough to move the sled. Like, I was sliding through it, obviously because I was sweaty, but not just that as well, it was my strength to, like, if I was stronger, I would be able to push those sleds better, which meant Stephen had to take, like, 3/4 of each lane, and I was only taking, like, a quarter. But even just taking that quarter, like, absolutely cooked me to go out on the runs, and used a lot of my energy. And then wall balls was the other one that's just absolutely shocking, like, to the point I'm no bad with a 4 kilo, 6 kilo, not the strongest. I need to stop picking the 4 kilo up in my training. But see, because we were soaking wet, the balls were soaking wet, like, I actually couldn't get a grip of it. Like, it just kept slipping. Like, I couldn't get my form right with the wall balls because it just kept sliding out my hands. So something that I'm not particularly strong on just made it 10 times worse. And then the farmer's carry. It's always farmer's carry for me. For some reason, that seems to be my worst station out of a lot of them. But it was definitely better than Glasgow. And I think that's because I've been training way the kind of 24. So I think, like, for me, I've been focusing a lot on running, and my running, like, I can keep consistent with my paces, but there's some strength elements where, like, I really do need to focus and hone in on my strength, because it's what's kind of letting me down a wee bit. Stevie?
Mm-hmm. So, for me, it's quite a hard one to take, and it's quite a hard one for me. Now I'm a wee bit better, having been 2 days past it, but long story short, anybody that obviously knows us, obviously done a massive cut weight down to get better at running. Now, my running has improved massively, and I had in my head that we were going to smash our Glasgow time. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that was going to happen, because there's no way it couldn't have happened, because the running's improved. My weight came down about 10 kilo from Glasgow. So would we have got the sub 70? I don't know, potentially, but we were definitely going to beat the sub 75. So that's been in my head the whole time coming over here. It's been Holly's birthday, so the plan was come over here, do the course, enjoy it, get a PB, excellent, what a weekend away. Obviously, for me to sit and say it was the heat, it was hard for me to take, because that has probably been the most emotional race that I've ever had, apart from the very first one that I done.
Yeah.
And I know I'm 10 times better from that, but like, I had tapped out. There's no question about it. Like, I had tapped out. Like, I couldn't handle, as much as we finished it. I would see, if I was a solo, I would have walked. But didn't because Holly kept going, by the way, and she was away in front of me. I'm surprised that we didn't get a penalty with how far behind I was coming to the last 3 fucking laps or something, 4 laps. So when it got to about Farmer's Carry, I think I was done.
Right.
Like I had checked out big time.
On sleds,
My mind, even with the sleds, I felt it was quite a hard one, right? Because it was when we got to the stations, I felt okay in the stations. Now, previous to this, I've been getting quite lightheaded after doing stations, doing HIIT training, and that was happening, but I don't know if it was the heat that was causing it. Now, in the gym when I'm doing sessions, I don't know what's causing it. It's definitely not a fueling issue because I was fueled up. It's not a hydration issue because I was plenty of hydration, electrolytes. So I need to figure out what that is and moving forward to see what that problem is. But apart from that, taking away, like, obviously people that I've spoke to, like, they never got the time that they expected. 1 p.m. in the afternoon in 28 to 30 degree heat with the sun just beaming on you running. The stations, as I said, felt okay. Like I was fine. Even after sled pulls, my legs did blow up, but they started to calm down again. And it's a hard thing to explain where, like, my legs didn't feel like they didn't want to move, but I literally couldn't breathe. It was like it was as if my body just couldn't get oxygen. Now, there's one thing I always do when I'm running is I always try and control my breathing. Yeah. Like I'm always through my nose as much as I can, and then when I start getting that wee bit heavier, I'm through the nose and out the mouth. I couldn't do that, and I was literally panicking as if I was gasping for air. Only when I was going out my runs. This is the thing. So, but I think it's more the fact that it's hurt my ego. It's bruised that a wee bit. That's killed me because of I knew in my head I knew that we were like we were getting a PB that was going to happen.
This is the first time that we've not progressed in a race.
So I think that's the thing as well. It's the first shit race I've had being a better athlete, and it's just a bit of a hard one to take. But at the end of the day, this is going to happen. So. During the race and everything, I was like to Holly, I'm not doing a doubles with you anymore. I was apologising. I was saying sorry because I knew she could keep going, and I was slowing us down. Like I knew it. So I was obviously thinking it's my fitness, and when I sit and think about it, like it can't be my fitness. We've just came off of fucking Glasgow doing, 1:15:04, and then there's no way it's a fitness issue. Do you know what I mean? So that has taught us some lessons that basically moving forward, if we do plan to do Berlin, we plan on doing Berlin next year. Is it going to be this weather again? We don't know. But now if we do decide to do one abroad and it can relatively potentially be hot during that time, then we need to add in some form of heat training. Now that can come in the form of a sauna suit with a heat monitor that can, obviously you would need one of them because it's a wee bit dangerous, as I've been told. Or it's a case of a hot gym, like training and really heat in the gym. So if that means...
We wouldn't need it for every training block, that's what we're saying. Like obviously we do Glasgow every year, which is March, so if we were looking to come out of Glasgow and do Berlin, then there would need to maybe be some form of heat training, especially because you're outside, like it just depends what the climate is. Like on the day, you could be in a heat wave, you could be in the rain and fucking hailstones, and that's just something we've learned for this, because we are just thinking, run outside, fucking brilliant, this is going to be amazing, an iconic venue, which the venue is amazing, but you are like a victim to the climate on the day of what's going to happen, and that's racing. So for us, it was a lesson of actually we need to be more prepared for this, that if it is going to be like this next year. It might not. It might be the same as Scottish weather and fucking great, fantastic, go for it. But we also need to be ready for rain, sun or shine sort of thing as well. So I think big lessons learned from
I've never wanted an 8 p.m. take off in my life so much in a race. Like that would have, obviously it would have been a lot cooler at night. But again, like it is what it is. It's took me probably a couple of days to just actually accept the fact that
it's going to happen, but it's part of racing.
It was a shit race.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, just being the time. Obviously, as I said, Holly's birthday. then our first time abroad, Berlin, an iconic venue, do you know what I mean? And then coming over here, spending obviously quite a good bit of money to come over here and stuff to do this venue, and then you walk away with a shiter result than you did previously. It's quite hard. It's quite hard for me to take, as I said, probably an ego thing. Because as Holly said, we've always progressed. We've always had a PB each time. So I'm expecting that.
Because it's the last race of the season as well, I think. Like, this was our last race, so it's like, we've not got any more to go out like with a bang, but it also will make us work a bit harder.
Aye, exactly what I was just about to say. It's like, I'm more or less going to take a month off come June, and then July we're going to start a block, getting into October for Birmingham. So it just makes me want to train that bit harder to, like, 1000% make sure that when it comes to Birmingham, that we get a sub 70. Yeah. Basically, it's not going to be a sub 75, it's going to be a sub 70. Because, stupid as it sounds, that's probably going to be the only thing that's going to make me feel better. Even when it's like fucking 4 or 5 months away. But that's up to me to make sure that happens. And Holly obviously will be consistent with her training as long as no injuries happen. But at the end of the day, this is a learning experience. This is something now that we can take and approach our clients with. That if they do decide to do one abroad and we do expect it to potentially be hot when looking at the weather, then it's like, right, we're going to need to start some form of heat training if we can, because we want them to be prepared. Now, it doesn't mean that not all places run outside, but some places don't have aircon that we're finding out when you're in an arena, so you could imagine it's still going to be warm in there. So it's just all these little details now that we wouldn't have known if we didn't come over here. We've spoke to a few people over here, we've met a few people, and every one of them are saying it's the heat. And obviously they're saying it to me, and that did help, because at the end of the day, if all these people are saying it to me, then the heat has got to have had a fucking big impact on that race. But it was definitely hard.
It's a humbling one. It's a humbling experience, but it's all learning, and we'll take it on the chin, not hide for it, the fact that it wasn't the result that we wanted, and we'll learn for it and just put that into our next block, even though we know like the heat's not going to be our thing, because it's the 31st of October in fucking Birmingham. Do you know what I mean? And it's a great arena, so we know that one as well, because we've done it. So just need to take it on the chin, roll with the punches in it, and just you win some, you lose some. And this one wasn't a PB for us.
No. But it was an experience in Germany. So that's it.
Over and out.